I'd say the Steel Series. Steel Series, honestly.
Steel Series.
I'd definitely sit with the Steel Series.
By far.
Definitely the Steel Series.
If I had to pick one of these to pick up in game right now, it's going to be the Steel Series.
Gamers prefer our headsets. Find out why at steelseries.com.
Alrighty, here we go on Cobblestone. We haven't started just yet. At least I'm pretty sure we haven't started just yet, because we've only got 4 players from Flipside on the server. Thanks, MRM. Thank you, Afterlife. Very kind of you to say. And Prancy, thank you so much for subscribing, bro. From Manchester, if memory serves me correctly, a fellow Brit. Thank you very much. Really appreciate the support of the stream. Awesome. Wow, okay then, Freeze. Chill out, bro. I've been told this game is going live incredibly soon. The score right now is 0-0. The way this is working, normally we'd have best of 2s, which was because CSGO Lounge put it up that way. But now they've very kindly put up best of 1s. So this is completely scratched. This is a whole new fresh slate for both the teams. The first map did go the way very comfortably in the end on Mirage to Flipside. It was 16-6 in the end. And this is going to be Cobblestone. So don't adjust your screens. We are going to be playing on Cobblestone. Oscar Olsen, hope you have a very nice day. I hope you have a great day as well. Thank you, it's very kind. All the positivity is always very, very welcome. Always very, very awesome. Thanks. Panedi 4? Panedi, maybe. Panedi 4. No, Muind? No, that can't be right. Muin. They don't return anymore because it's not possible to get draws. They've changed the way that the betting works now on these games, so they're 2 best of 1s. So they're almost separate games entirely, just the same teams playing. Is CSGO Lounge bugged because they won last game, but the skins ain't nowhere? I think what you're trying to say is that you haven't got your skins back, or you haven't won any skins after the last game. Sometimes CSGO Lounge takes a little while to update. For example, I don't think we're linked yet on CSGO Lounge. So sometimes it takes them a while. I'm not a CSGO Lounge admin, so I can't give you a step-by-step process of how they work things out over there. All I'd say is just be a bit patient, dude, and hopefully it'll be fixed soon. Budapest is Romania, right? No, that's Bucharest. Nice one, Vince. Those silly fluffy bears. Wow. Alright, the stream just got linked, so welcome to you that may be joining us from the CSGO Lounge. Apologies for the issues that we had previously with it not being linked, but fortunately, Bucharest is Romania, Budapest is Hungary. I know, I'm an absolute scrub. Again, you can just report me. I'd understand. Report me to Gaben. He'll come arrest me and put me in Volvo police. It's the knife round. Winner of this will more than likely go CT. So let's see. The Copenhagen Wolves, after winning the knife round, going to stay. Yes, they are. No big surprise there. The first map was won by Flipside, 16-6 on Mirage. It's 2 best of 1s, guys. There's a lot of confusion here. 2 best of 1s. It is League. Bondic with the first frag. Opens things up, breaks the deadlock. And Flipside are hoping to start off in the same form that they left off on Mirage, and that was very, very impressive indeed from them. If those of you wondering what's going on with the names for Copenhagen Wolves, I've been told that Sorry Blame It On Me is Freeze. And not even happy is Tensky, who is subbing in today for SMF. Yo, Mike Twitcher, what's up, bro? Welcome to the stream. I know you've been here for a while, but I notice you. There you go. Headshot from Bondic. That's going to leave that man Hunden in a bit of a sticky situation, to say the least. Bondic is moving up to him right now. It's going to be blow for blow, and it's Hunden that does get dropped. So 1-0 for Flipside. Pretty big round for them. They'll be very happy with that. Guys, if one of the mods or subscribers can just type that this is a best of 1 and the first map went to Flipside now and again, for those of you asking, because I don't want to have to repeat myself like a million times. Just for those of you that are joining and may not know, the last map was a best of 1 and this is a best of 1, so realistically the two maps have nothing to do with each other in terms of your betted skins anyway. This is a whole fresh slate. Winner of this will win the match and indeed win you potential skins or lose you potential skins depending on which way you bet. Flipside tactics have been looking strong today. Hunden trying to hold down the fort by his lonesome at B, and Bondic is going to say no thank you and gets the headshot. And now they're going to look to push in on this one. Markov meanwhile with the MP7 doing work. Tensky gets dropped from Bondic as well, and this is looking very, very simple and straightforward for Flipside. Last remaining player is that man Snappy with the UMP. A fat fingered the console button. GG well played, Vince. Best streamer EU. And now Snappy with that UMP is going to do some work. Gets Markov. He's still got 100% of his HP remaining, but of course he's got 4 players to find, frag, and get that defuse. And Blade Art is going to step up with the MP7 and pick him off with ease. Yes, as William Snookstead, there's 2 best of 1s instead of 1 best of 2. So it's a different format for today, guys. I'm not sure if CSGO Lounge is going to continue this afterwards. I have absolutely no idea. What I can tell you is this is a best of 1. So the last match does not matter whatsoever. A whole new fresh slate for both teams. On Flipside, looking good right here on Cobblestone. We'll let it with the scout. He's going to get himself 2 frags, and there we go. Snappy with the P250 comes down and stops that killing streak dead in its tracks. Blade Art now peeking out from connector area. And inside, Blade Art and Bondic both get themselves frags. It's all on Freeze. There's actually a player in the toilets right behind him. And he's about to get knifed right now from Simple. No, he turns around and gets the frag on him. Oh man, I thought he was about to get knifed. I was sure that was about to happen. I hope that Leicester get beaten off Chelsea, because I'm a Newcastle fan and they're getting dangerously close to the relegation zone right now. So please, Chelsea, never will I ever cheer for you again. But please, Chelsea, please. Please. Do it for Newcastle. Mouse game is coming up later this evening, guys, after this matchup. That will be Flipside against Mouse Sports. Let's focus on this game at hand. That's coming up with the Orpers World Edit, checking every corner. Let's have a look at how things are looking right now. Markov and Simple towards B. Bladar with a bomb is lurking in mid. And now World Edit and Flipside coming through long on towards A. CTs understandably are playing very, very passive. They've got Snappy who's actually playing a bit more in an aggressive position right now, but it's actually Tensky who gets the first kill of this exchange. Markov is all by his lonesome now over on towards B. He's just been flashbanged to the forehead. You can see him there looking at drop zone. Going to be smoking this one. Is he going to push it after the Molotov? It's very possible. There's Tensky down there laid in wait. He's going to be spraying through that smoke. But there is actually going to be Tensky holding down the fort. Gets himself both of the kills. Huge plays from him. And now that leaves the Orper of World Edit all by his lonesome with 5 players to find. Misses the first shot. That's going to give his position away if the flashbang didn't beforehand. And wow, he's between a rock and several hard places at this point. And there we go. The ever increasing claustrophobic environment closes around him. The noose around the neck, and he drops 3-1. This is actually identical to how the last map started as well. Flipside took a 3-0 lead, and then Copenhagen Wolves managed to get themselves one back, and then Flipside started to jump ahead again in terms of rounds. So let's see if history is going to repeat itself here, or if Copenhagen Wolves can try and put a damper on that. And it looks like that's exactly what Snappy's going to do, looking through mid, but maybe the action is going to be going elsewhere from Flipside. No, I thought they may try and do an aggressive push onto B. Instead, they actually rotate back towards their player just fell, to the hands of Snappy, and he is going to be looking to get himself on the scoreboard once again with the AWP. Misses, courtesy of that smoke. But this is a pretty positive start from Copenhagen Wolves in the 5th round. That early death for Flipside is definitely going to keep them on their back foot. Make that 2 death. Snappy with the AWP, doing work. Gets a 3rd as well. He was one of the standout players in the first map there of Mirage with Snappy. Needs to be careful. Let's play to his left-hand side, which I think he just about spotted. That's going to be Bondik. Markolov's gone down. Bondik is peeking in. There is the 4-man from Snappy. Very, very crisp AWPing from Snappy. And that pretty much single-handedly picks up the 2nd round for the CTs. Thanks, Nerdy. Nerdymania. Interesting name, bro. Canet Terrorist on CT. It's going to be an eco. Is it going to be an eco rush? No, not quite. Molotov did stop the push from drop down, as will the smoke as well. We'll let it may fancy his chances at maybe trying to spray through that smoke and claim himself a couple of lucky headshots, but that's not going to happen just yet. Tensky's there again. He's consistently been in the same position, so it's a fairly predictable spot. The problem is it's just a very hard spot to flush out when you don't have grenades and when you don't have weapons. And there is that man Tensky, and he gets forced down from Simple. He got himself 2 frags before falling, and now Snappy's going to try and pick up the pieces. Look at where that bomb dropped. Somehow shooting someone in the head makes the bomb fly out in front of them through a window. CS, do you even physics? I'm pretty sure CS doesn't physics, guys. Snappy with the AWP. Now going to go walkies. Oh, he did catch World Edit that. Down to 14 HP. I'm pretty sure that wallbang is all that saved him. It definitely wasn't a leg shot. Pretty much see his forehead there. He's going to move back into a static position. Bondik with the AK-47. Shaping up to be a pretty decent half for Flipside Tactics, but it's still early days. Remember, they did win the first round and converted the next 2. So therefore you would say there's a few more chapters to be wrote here in this first half. Simple will get the opening frag in this round. I'm taking it on board with Bondik though and staying there because I feel like he could be a playmaker in this round. If he can get around the back and get a couple frags, there's every chance they can get on this site. The problem is that teammates elsewhere are falling down, and now he's got to pick up this kill onto Freeze. There we go, flashbang lands, and that is going to open up a site. So that man did get the entry frag that I was looking for from Bondik, and now that takes it down to a 3-on-2. Tensky, very low HP, just 12 remaining, alongside Asilian. Well, his teammate just died right in front of his eyes. And there we go, World Edit puts the end to this round, 4-3. Is this an English class? It's probably because you accused someone of being an idiot but couldn't spell UR. I think they were going for the ironic kind of viewpoint there. Look at this from Simple. He's already snaked his way up here on platform. This is giving him a lot of information. He knows that no Copenhagen Wolves are going to be down to his left-hand side. There could be one in the little coop at the back, but Asilian peeks on up there and gets taken down. He sees a second player, that's Hunden. And Hunden puts him 6 foot under. Here we go, drop down seems to be the place of... Well, I was going to say the choice, but they threw down the Molotov and there is smoke, so it's going to be very difficult to actually push on through there and get that frag, so it's going to keep them on the back foot. However, elsewhere, Bondik did secure himself a kill, and again he's pushing down long onto A. smoke. One through. 3-on-3 situation. There is a player up on the A site. That's going to be Freeze, all by his lonesome. Tensky hasn't really moved from this position here onto drop down. Hunden still on B. They've committed 2 players to B, and the one player that was still onto A site was that man that I mentioned before, Freeze, and he's been dropped down. And in doing so, that's opened up this A site, and it will be a plant, and very likely a held site as well for Flipside tactics, unless something crazy happens. And honestly, I don't think they're going to even try to retake this site. Hunden and Tensky both just going to stay towards B. Going to be stacking on long B right now, going towards hallway. And they're just going to stay here, and there's no reason for them to try and retake. Sure, this would be a 3-5 discrepancy. It's not a fantastic start to the half, but it's a whole lot better than pushing in, losing both of these assault rifles, Kevlar, and the grenades that Hunden has. That's, well, that's at least 5k, I'd say, of weaponry that they're going to be saving. Well, just on Hunden. In total, you're looking, 7 or 8k. That's not something to turn your nose up at, and now that will allow them to go ahead and full buy in this round as well. Because Hunden can easily drop to a Cillian, and then they just pick up grenades. So, smart save in the end. It's not sexy Counter-Strike, it's not the most entertaining stuff to watch, but it's smart. Now this gives them a real fighting chance at this round. Thanks for the kind words in chat, guys. Glad you're enjoying the stream. 5-3. Flipside, be very happy with this start. They lost the knife round. And Copenhagen will elect to go CT, and so far it hasn't been working out too well for them. This is their choice of map as well. They're going to be looking for this boost. And Tensky will be happy to oblige and gets the kill onto Markelov. I think that was a jumping headshot there. Markelov's probably going to be a bit butthurt about that one. I know I would be in his position. The kill's a kill at the end of the day. And again, the CDs get the first one on the board. However, this has happened a bunch of times already. And then what ends up happening is that Flipside just edge ahead. Good smokes down from the CTs. Blade's being tagged up. He has to back one off. Bondic has managed to push through that smoke, but he just finds himself a very scary Asilian who's on top of the statue. He's raining down with the silenced M4. Simple now going to be trying to peek him out, but he's behind the box and he's been spotted. Snappy's going to pick up the pieces elsewhere on the board, and the last 2 remaining Ts are both heavily tagged up, and there we go. Hunden with his quick-fire double at the end. Even spread of frags. I think Hunden had 2, and everyone other than Asilian had 1. So a good hold from the CTs there. That's going to force Flipside onto kind of a mixed buy. It's basically an eco because you look at their economy. They have Kevlar on simple and also on world edit, but they've both got around 3 to 4k. And Snappy's going to find himself chased down by a hungry pack of hyenas in the form of Flipside, and they do get that kill. So it suggests to me they're probably going to go for AWPs going through to the next round. Our Flipside. Maybe not plural AWPs, but look at this from Markelov. This is sneaky. This is a plant. And now you can almost hear the palms hitting the foreheads of Copenhagen Wolves as they realise in unison, oh, it was a trap. Markelov, can you pull off something special? No. Not a single frag was got that day. But they do get the bomb plant. And they are going to have more than enough funds to buy up next round. So I'm curious if they're going to go for an AWP. I'd expect to see Will Let It pick one up. We've already seen him with an AWP on this half. There we go. As expected. They're going to go for 2 AWPs. Okie dokie. Interesting. Interesting. Let's have a look at the spawns, actually, for Simple. He's got a good spawn for mid, so it would make sense for him to pick up an AWP. He's going to have a quick peek. Will Let It also has a pretty good spot. So let's switch between the 2 of them. Simple's looking at mid. Will Let It's looking at long. There is a player, actually, maybe going to be pushing through in a few moments. Simple did have a shot across there into sewers. And Will Let It's still looking into long itself. So Freeze can count as lucky stars that he didn't try pushing now, because he would have found certain death, and instead, because of his very keen and disciplined position, he gets the upper hand onto Bondic, who's probably not expecting to see a player just sat there waiting for him. Snappy gets the frag, but is dropped down to 16 HP in retaliation. And now Flipside are starting to fall, so it's almost like Copenhagen Wolves are starting to find their feet a tiny bit. Simple does land a shot there from the AWP, and it's down to a 2-on-4. Simple in a much more aggressive position. So let's have a look at from his perspective. He'll players to his left-hand side, to his right-hand side, straight ahead of him. This is going to be a tough one. Especially as Free's actually gone up onto A site itself. And Simple tried the flick shot, but doesn't connect it. And that's pretty much him gone. Lauren, thank you very much, dude. And thank you, Andrew Lax, I think that is. Thanks for your kind words. What do you guys feel about Cobblestone? I personally can't stand playing this map, but I quite enjoy casting it. I'm really not a fan of playing this. I'm interested to see what you guys have to say. The reason I'm bringing this up, because it is an eco round from Flipside. I'm expecting the CTs to lock this one down fairly comfortably. There's not a great deal to talk about this or analyse. It's Flipside probably going to lurk around, look to try and get an opening pick, and then just straight up overwhelm the CTs. It looks like Drop Zone is going to be their designated place to attack. And so far, so good as far as the CTs are concerned. You saw there that Will Dead, it was going back and forth, desperately trying to connect some shots with the Tech 9. It's actually quite funny to watch. It's like a game of cat and mouse. Except for the cat just completely devoured the mouse in about a second. Thanks, Elias Dakvist. Elias Dakvist? Am I saying that right? And official T.Y. Cooper. Cheers. Yes, I'm the caster. I met this. I'm streaming and casting. Played out with a pretty good spawn, but again, it's that same smoke from Copenhagen walls, just banking it off the wall and locking down long so that Flipside don't get much information. And it is stopping them from pushing as well, which tends to be a problem that a lot of, at least matchmaking teams have, that, oh, the T's keep rushing me, I can't do anything to stop it. Well, just watch the pros play. There's lots of ways you can stop that. They're called smokes. They're called Molotovs. Use them sometimes, please. You can see what effect that has had. You've got 3 players pretty much stacking, waiting for these smokes to dissipate. And then they may try pushing through drop zone. Tensky once again, surprise, surprise, in the same position, but Asilian actually pushed into long and got the frag onto Simple, which I don't think he was expecting that push whatsoever. In fairness to him, Asilian has not pushed this position at all. This is the first time that he's aggressively peaked it. And it does pay out dividends for him, so it just goes to show how important being unpredictable is in Counter-Strike. Completely catch your opponents off guard. We'll let it with the grenade frag, and meanwhile Flipside are turning this round back in their favour. They lost the first couple of plays in this. But the bomb's been dropped in a really precarious position all by itself, and now Hunden's able to play the lurker role to perfection on Will Let It, who just got shot from the side. There's nothing he can do. 3 seconds on the timer. Bondic can't afford to even attempt to get that bomb. He's going to save the AK going into the next round, so they're going to roll the dice there, and they completely committed to going to the B site, and it just didn't pay off for them. And Copenhagen Wolves pick up their 8th round, and incidentally enough as well, that's their 5th round in a row. You can see that 5 rounds in a row for CTs. Before that, it was 5-3 to Flipside. So from 5-3 to 8-5, it's a pretty epic comeback on the CT side here for Copenhagen Wolves, and they're going to hope that this continues. They're going to really hope for a 10-5 half-time, I should say, score, because that would not be bad at all. Freeze with the first frag of this round. Asilian's going to be pushing aggressively again. He knew the blade was there. He saw him cross, he heard, and now tagging up Simple so hard. Bondic gets sprayed down from Asilian, who then finds himself on the receiving end of a battering courtesy of Markelov, but the damage has already been done surely, as Markelov and Simple, all that remains, Simple's only got himself 7 HP. The bomb has been dropped, but in a position where Markelov can easily retrieve it. Just behind him towards hallway. Molly has been dropped there, and it's just a case of timing the T's out now, forcing them to make a move. All of the onus is on them. See, Tensky and Hunden have a pretty solid crossfire set down here. Hunden just got a frag, and there is the second player in the crossfire. It's Tensky, and it's 9-5. Hey Shadow, what's up? What's up, iGrizzly? Oh, iGrillzy. Sorry. So Flipside desperately want this round. You got right now, just have a quick look at the scoreboards where not much is happening. Tenski 17 and 6. The guy who stepped in for Copenhagen Wolves is delivering right now for them. Didn't do so much on the first map, which was Mirage, which was won 16-6 by Flipside Tactics, but this map he's definitely stepped up. Well, there is Tenski. Commentator's curse, if ever you've seen when I say how well he's playing and he gets completely wrecked. But still, with all that being said, Bondic and Blade, the B&B combo that did so good on Mirage, find themselves in familiar territory in a 2 versus 4. They do pick up the first kill in this exchange. They're still going to have to go one more if they even want to take this down to equality, and they very nearly do that on Snappy, who actually re-peaks and is down to 1 HP. He gets the kill on 1 HP. It just goes to show that every hit point counts. If Snappy gets killed there, it's a 2-on-3 situation and very possible. In fact, sorry, it would have been a 2-on-2 situation and very possible for Bondic and Blade, because there was a gaping hole in the defences. But the 1 HP hero Snappy pulls it off, and it's 10-5. And that was 7 rounds on the bounce to Copenhagen Wolves, after being 5-3 behind on CT side. Yep, it's a best of 1. Lickety Whip. Interesting name, bro. Interesting name. But this is the second best of 1 these two teams have played against each other this evening, which is why I mentioned before about the 16-6. Sorry for any confusion. Here we go, though. T's looking to go ahead and push themselves in. I had a bit of a weird bug there where it showed Blade R as a T, so we had like 6 T's versus 4 CTs for a few seconds there, but it is the CTs on Flipside Tactics, who now have to try and retake this site. It's a 4-on-2. Make that a 4-on-3. Let's pick it up with the CTs as they have to retake this site. 2 players are heavily tagged, a couple shots away from death. One of which is Freeze, and he's been dropped, and now it's all on Asilian, who is going to... No, he does get the kill. Are you kidding me? And that's a one-on-one situation. Markelov against Asilian. Asilian is trying to waste as much time as possible. He finally goes down. Is there enough time to defuse this bomb? It's going to be very close indeed. It's so close. Does he have it? I think he has it, boys. No, he doesn't have it by about a millisecond. And Asilian with the master maneuvers there. Wasting every single second and just doing enough. Just doing enough. I didn't want to call that he had that defuse or didn't have the defuse, because I knew that was going to be insanely close. And I really didn't know. Whew, boom goes the dynamite in his face. Almost broke my screen. It has been a fantastic game so far, guys, but please take care of your screens. They have feelings too, you know. Flipside Tactics on CT. Asilian was the guy who was playing interference like an absolute champ. Bet he got a few high fives for that one. Markelov could pull off some big plays here because they've gone for the flashbang, and here we go. That's great teamwork. Markelov gets 2, gets 3! Unbelievable. He actually didn't get 3. He got 2. And his teammate there of Bondic did come in and chime in with the other frag, but still, that's fantastic teamwork. And what looked like a round that would be slipping away from Flipside Tactics is brought back home. 11-6. 5-7. So powerful in the right hands. That's a great flash. Great plays from Flipside Tactics. Woozy word. It's all personal preference, bro. If a team's choking or if another team's playing fantastic, if it's entertaining, I'm enjoying the game. There's been stories written on Cobblestone here, and that always really immerses me into these matchups. Nice shot from Markelov. And again, the T's are starting to slip away. It seems like it has been a curse of the terrorist half here. And Snappy, in a 1 versus 4, he does have 100% of his HP remaining. Very nearly does get that frag. Just saw a brief glimpse of a head, but wasn't able to do anything with that information. And the T's lose again, so this will be down to an eco round. You're welcome, Lionel Messi. I never thought that I'd be telling Lionel Messi he's welcome. You're welcome for this stream. I hope you guys are enjoying it. If you are, hit that follow button. So can the T's break this curse that's been against them on cobblestone? Well, not like that, they're not. And that's just pretty much pouring out. Single file column, conga lining out there. And it's just a case of lambs to the slaughter. On the flip side, did they even lose a single HP there? Did they lose a single point of health? I don't think they did. Everyone survived with pretty much 100. So that's just going to be money in their back pocket. Laughing all the way to the bank. 7.6k on Bondic. 5.8k on Simple. Let's have a quick look at the scoreboard. Tensky still top fragging overall with 18 for 11. Snappy with 17 for 12. And top fragging for Flipside is Bondic with 15 for 10. So everyone by and large is pulling their weight. No one's having a terrible game here. Let's see how the terrorists are fanning out. Looks as though it's going to be a push on towards A via long. First frag goes from Tensky. If there's a man that you'd be looking at to get that first frag, it probably would be him, and he doesn't disappoint this time for his team. You can see him now aggressively pushing through towards A. Player to his right hand side, one dead ahead of him, which will be Markelov. The player to his right is Blade. And Blade has a quick peek. The flashbang is going to get pushed in. And there we go. Once again, these flashbangs proving to be so deadly. As of course they always are on the T side. Markelov now all by his lonesome on A, forever alone. And he gets taken out. Put 6 foot under. And now Bondic in Simple. Gonna have to try and come in and pull off a miracle. Pull a couple rabbits out the hat. It's not going to happen. It's just not. Simple has the CZ, and he's probably just going to try and save this. And answering some of the questions, he's also got himself an M4, so even more reason for him to save in a 5-on-1. I do play the game a lot. I've played, I'd say, between 2,000 and 2,500 hours. I've got quite a few accounts that I play on. I play with viewers. This is my personal stream. I've just started streaming myself casting these games, so hopefully you guys are enjoying. But I also play with viewers like after these streams are done, so hang around if you want to play. I'm not sure who asked that because the chat went down really fast. I apologise, but I hope I answered your question. So Simple did manage to save the weapon there. Nicely done by him. And it's not as though they really desperately needed some economic stability on their side because they've got so much. But there's really no point in throwing away weapons. I'm controlling the cast. Official TY Cooper. I'm not the greatest at controlling camera. I still need to get used to that, so I do apologise for that. Simple. Going to be peeking up from platform. The flashbang did come through. Pretty much landed on him. Just caught a glimpse of Asilian. A teasing moment in the wind. And Asilian is away. He's not going to be re-peeking that. Or is he actually? He is. He's got a death wish. He hasn't been punished just yet. There we go again. There is a frequently asked questions part underneath, guys, if you want to know the rank or resolution and stuff like that. It's Tensky. Let's switch to him. Let's see where the damage was done. And of course, as soon as I switch away from the action, Bondic goes and gets himself one. Typical trash camera control. Report me, please. Thank you. 35 seconds on the time, and this is going to be an all-out rush. But the one player that they haven't factored in here was that man on platform, which was Simple. He's been taken out. Markelov is there now as well. Desperately trying to get themselves a bomb plant. Will let it. Didn't stop that plant, but the grenade lands right on top of the head of Vasily. It's a one-on-one situation. The bomb's been planted. Will let it with the AWP. He's going to have to pull off a very quick fire shot here if he wants to best Tensky, who has been the talisman for Copenhagen Wolves. They're going to come head-to-head, and he misses the no-scope. It would have been a pretty beautiful shot had he have landed it, but it's not to be. And they lose the round. Flipside find themselves at an 8-13 disadvantage going forward into the 22nd round. Just keep the camera on Tensky all the time. I probably should, the way he's been playing. Let's take it on board with him. He has a good spawn here. And he has consistently been getting entry frags. So let's see what he does with this. Another flash in. Getting a lot of real estate here, the terrorist. It is an eco round, so you're expecting them to pretty much walk away with a 14-8 lead, and that pretty much seems to be what's happening. 5-on-3. Let's switch over to the C team's perspective now that they find themselves in a 2-on-5 situation. Snappy took a lot of damage there, but the grenade comes in and saves his life, down to 4. It's not the first time we've seen him escape around with bare bones health. Double AWP setup for the CTs. Very understandable on a map like Cobblestone, where there's huge stretches of open space that you can use to snipe around. And Freeze, once again, with that AWP, is going to be trying to do the very same thing, although he is taking it towards B, and he has a good spawn for it, but they're going to slow down because you're expecting to see flashes and smokes come in onto long, but they're all walking in here. There's the first smoke. They're actually going to be pushing in. It's Sicilian who takes point. Simple gets the second frag, but I'm staying on board with Freeze here because I think he could pull something off. No, he misses that shot. Gets it on the second time of asking, but he's the last remaining player. That's a beautiful second shot as well. 3 more to find. 3 more to frag. Lots of time on the board. And I was about to say, well, it's waiting there for him. And Flipside Tactics do pull one back. Thanks, Cooper. Have I ever played professionally? Not in CS. I'm too old now. I'm way too old. And I just enjoy casting. I really enjoy casting. I really enjoy streaming. So I'd rather do that. Playing professionally and anything is just like insanely time consuming. You pretty much devote your entire life to it. So I've got a lot of respect for these players that do that. Cillian with the first kill in this round. He's going to be dropped very aggressively though from Bondic. No, he actually isn't. I thought his days were numbered. Only 9 HP remaining. And he just survives with that grenade. That was close. That was very, very close. If Cillian was a second too late there, that grenade would have landed on the back of his head. And he would have been dropped. So they get the frag, and they do manage to escape with that advantage. Although Cillian is so close to death, anything will pick him up right now at this point in the game. 24th round, getting towards the business end. Smoke's thrown over. Very, very slow around this one. And now Cillian is going to be taking point for his team. Makes sense, he's on 8 HP, so if he can pull off some miraculous, disgusting... Oh! I did not think that Cillian was around the corner there, but World Edit with the fantastic reaction speed is going to pick him up. I was going to say it's worth sacrificing him because he's so low and he could potentially pull off a fantastic entry frag. So it's worth the risk, but now Copenhagen Wolves aren't going to need that anyway because they find themselves a player up. Oh, that is a fantastic shot from World Edit. That really is. I was going to say they find themselves a player up, the bomb down, but World Edit has taken that and brought it back to an equal playing field. And Hunden is quite low. That grenade is going to hurt Snappy. In fact, it's not going to hurt Snappy because Marklov gets the frag beforehand, and now it's all on Hunden. He has been tagged low, and they do get the kill. That's big for Flipside. That's pretty huge. Lose that round, it's 15-9. And Flipside would probably... they would have been able to afford. They would have been able to afford for sure. But it wouldn't have been full grenades. It would have been full items in terms of weaponry. And they'd have been force spying, and it would have been a lot of pressure. So that was huge, huge, huge for Flipside Tactics. Hey, Drin U19. I go for it, bro. Go for it. Whatever you do in your own time is your decision, and your decision alone. Blade's gonna get the first kill, and the second kill as well. Does get dropped. Apologies that I didn't catch any of that because I'm awful on camera, as we've already established multiple times. Snappy and Freeze have it all to do. And Flipside Tactics is starting to find their footing here on CT side. You've got to feel Snappy's been spotted, and you've got to feel that his days are well and truly numbered in this position. Well, he's got one. He's making this as economically damaging and painful as possible. And if he can get the next kill onto World Edit, you know, he could potentially pull this off. We've seen crazy things happen in CS. He did just catch a glimpse there as World Edit jumped up on towards the site. The flashbang comes through. Snappy has somehow found his way towards CT spawn. And I was going to say, there is a player behind him in the form of Markelov that can easily shoot him in the back at any time. But he was waiting, and he didn't want to give his position away prematurely. So a smart play in the end. Now GOCL, I agree. Flipside just need to keep the momentum going. They've got every chance of bringing this back. It is CT side after all. I feel like before they were just losing too often to getting picked off for no apparent reason. They seem to be playing more disciplined now and playing more deep defensively. But this is a push in. Bondik's got himself one. There's Marklov. Oh, they really needed Marklov to step up to the plate there. And he dies without any retaliation. Simple, however, from the back of the site, is going to be doing work with the AWP. As I switched across the blade there to see him pick up a frag in drop zone. The last player is Snappy. Ooh, Simple misses that, but Snappy's down to 4 HP. And he will be getting dropped. It's only a matter of time. There we go from Blade. That was a fairly scary round, though, for Flipside. They did lose 2 players on a full eco. It's not a terrible round for the T's. And just as soon as Markelov went down in drop zone, I was thinking, hold on a second. Are we going to see an eco prevailing? Not quite, but very close. That will, however, get the terrorists back onto a buy round. They're not going to go for an AWP. They couldn't afford one. Well, they could have, but then they would have had a lack of grenades. Oh, Simple misses the shot. Simple misses the shot. And you saw him actually knife the air there, which would suggest that he's a bit angry with himself. It's what I typically do. If he connects that shot, it puts the CTs in such a good position. He got plenty of information, though. You got to look at the silver lining, but he'll be angry with himself for missing that. Make no mistake. That was pretty much as clear-cut as you're going to get. Here come the frags. Simple. There we go. And that's the bomb dropped as well. Markelov does work onto Asilian. I guess the second kill. And Flipside pull it back to 13. So even though Simple missed that sitter of a shot, one that he'd make 99 out of 100 times, it didn't matter in the end because Flipside had his back. Rest of his team said no problems. And now Copenhagen Wolves, they've been found out a tiny bit here on T-side. The strats that were working for them beforehand no longer are. They're going to have to mix things up here. They're going to maybe try an A push. I'd like to see them try and push A more. It's something that Bondik in particular had great success with when Flipside were on T-side. To start off with, at least, when they were 5-3 up. Yes, guys, this is a best of 1. So, Snappy et al. Are all going to be pushing in towards A potentially. It's Snappy taking point. This man has been on pretty good form today. He's absolutely fantastic on Mirage. Currently finds himself at 23 frags, 18 deaths. Just a bit behind Tensky, the stand-in. And here comes the push. Simple with the opening pickup. Bladar does get a couple himself, and before you know it, it's all on freeze. And he gets taken down through the wall of Will Let It. Unbelievable shot there through the wooden paneling. And 14-4 is the scoreline, guys. And this is getting interesting. This is getting really tense now. Whew. It looks like they're going to go for a force buy, which means it's going to be Tech 9s and an AK-47 for the terrorists. This is far from ideal as far as they're concerned, but it does allow them to pick up a few smokes. And this may suggest that we're going to have a delayed rush, which may not sound like a lot of sense is being made. But what I mean is they're not going to be rushing right off the bat. They'll be waiting, maybe down to around 30-40 seconds, and then they'll all charge in together. It actually looks as though they're splitting up this round, which I'm not too sure I agree with. Could it be a lack of communication with having a sub in? I'm not too sure. But they seem caught in two minds. HLTV, please. HLTV, please. Oh God, please. I'm not lying, guys. I'm still streaming. Oh. Can you guys still hear me? If you guys can still hear me, please let me know in stream, because I want to make sure it's not on my end. I'm pretty sure it's not, because I can see all the chat spamming down. I'm guessing the HLTV just bit the dust big time. You can hear me, thank you. Oh, okay. Hold the phone. We're back. Back in the action. I was getting really sad. I was actually going to transform into a sad panda there. But we are back. HLTV just keeping us on our toes. There's the Bondic. He's just going to unleash onto the terrace. This was a force buy, so they're going to have no economy to speak of going through into the next round. They will have a round loss bonus, I should say, actually. So they probably will be able to force buy a few weapons and grenades, but it's going to be far from perfect for them. So I will correct myself there for making the derpy error. HLTV, please. Please. Oh, come on, bros. Are we going to have to wait again? It's like Blue Balls Counter-Strike, guys. The flirtation is real right now. Not sure what's going on, dudes. Not entirely sure. I'm checking Skype to see if you have any information for you to pass on. I'm just going to go ahead and take a couple drinks here because I'm a bit parched. Been solo casting for 2 hours or so, whatever it is now. Maybe longer than that. Did I say HLTV? My bad. I meant GoTV. I'm just a bit special. I do listen to System of a Down. They're awesome. Illuminati confirmed. Oh, hello there. Well, welcome back, CSGO. It's been a while since I was able to cast you. And we're seeing Tensky channeling his inner god. He's just going to be floating all the way to B, no problems. Catch him if you can. Look at that, it's beautiful. Look at that, that is absolutely beautiful. Oh, he jumped. Why did you have to jump? He's looking so good, Tensky, but he doesn't actually get that frag anyway. And now it's on the T's to actually pull something off, and they have managed to do just that. So, Tensky able to float his way to victory, and now it's all on Blade. Is he going to make the god bleed this round? Is he going to pull off the unthinkable 1v4 clutch? No, he's not. And it will be overtime, ladies and gents. It will indeed be overtime. Whew. Just taking stock of the situation, guys. Just trying to relax a tiny bit because this could go the distance. There is another couple of games after this as well. Hope you're enjoying this as much as I am. It's gone down to 15-15. It's going to be overtime. I believe it's set to MR10. I'm not sure if that's correct or not. I'm scared. Hold me. Yeah, I feel the same way, Cooper. We shall have a friendly huddle right now. I'm not an admin, by the way, guys, so I can't change anything that's on the server. Just throwing it out there. I'm just the cast from streamer. Coin TV. I'm actually not from Newcastle directly. I live near Newcastle. It's just the biggest city that people outside of England may know. I actually probably live closer, slightly closer to County Durham than I do Newcastle. Well, Durham itself. But, you know, for purposes of people in Europe and America and stuff that may have heard of Newcastle, it's much easier to just say Newcastle. Anyway, we are live into overtime. Of course, Flipside on CT. And as ever, for the last half, we have seen Copenhagen Wolves featured on the terrorist side, trying to break through. Sneeze. I just called him Sneeze. That's definitely not his name. His name is Freeze. So that just happened. I think I was going to say sorry, and then I said Freeze, and it just turned into Sneeze. Maybe that should be his name from now on. Nah, let's not go with Sneeze. Freeze! With the AWP. Looking up towards mid. Who is going to break the deadlock into this game? Cillian is in drop zone. And as is Tensky, actually. They pushed very aggressively, and they've got a lot of information as a result. But there is Bondik. He's waiting for this push. Let's switch on board with him as he just looks away the flashbang, but he's still there, and he pounces with a quick fire double. Very well played by him. Looking at the ground to make sure he wasn't fully flashed. And that could be the play that seals the deal for this round. For Flipside, it looks to be exactly the case. A Bondik take a bow. He gets the spray as well, just to put a cherry on that delicious cake that he managed to cook himself. It's not cook, it's bake. Definitely don't cook a cake. Well played to Bondik. Glad you're enjoying the stream, guys. I don't live in Gateshead, no. If you guys have heard of Chesley Street and Hortingley Spring, I live between them two, basically. Cook a cake, Kappa. You can see that I'm not really the greatest chef or baker. I managed to make myself cheese on toast, and that's about it. Beans on toast if I'm really feeling fancy. Grenade lands right next to Bondik. The man, he went huge last time. Once cooked the cake and it came out like pudding. There you go. That's why you don't cook a cake. Bondik in identical position there. Playing this, it's interesting the differences in style between the two teams, because when the T's are in here, Tensky actually was in drop zone. He was always around that area. Whereas Flipside are happy enough to actually back on off and give up drop zone and then retake it like right now. That's what Bondik does. He doesn't realise though that Tensky is up there waiting for him. And now Tensky on the team with the advantage. They have a player advantage. Will let it, and Blade are coming in. Will let it's actually on the side. He misses 2 shots there with the AWP. No, he doesn't get it on the third. It's actually Blade, and he pulls out the USP, and he takes him down, but there is Blade with the recovery frag for Flipside, who take the 17-15 round lead. Can you cook a cake? Well, then I'm really derping. Cheese on toast, I guess it is more fancy. Yeah. Silence falls on the battlefield. Hearing a couple Molotovs, a couple of grenades going off, but there we go, we start to hear a couple AK bullets ringing out behind Snappy. He's at the forefront of this push from the terrorists. The smoke has landed, and he's going to be backing away. He doesn't want to even attempt to try his luck against Flipside. You are going to be pushing in on top of platform in the form of Simple, which we saw done. He did this a few times before with the AWP, and he did miss a shot, but this time he has connected. There is a player to his left-hand side, Hunden. Unbeknownst to him, though, Hunden could get the frag here, but he actually flashes to just cross back over again. Smart play from him. Allows them to recollect themselves and try and push on to A, and that seems to be exactly what's happening right now. Cillian, Tensky, both going in. Player in the form of Blade is on A site. But it's actually Will Let It that's going to ring in with the first frag here in this confrontation. Bladar retaliates back. There's Freeze. And now it's down to Freeze. That man on Marklov. He's got one. And he gets dropped straight afterwards. Flipside on CTs. Definitely keeping the momentum going in their favour. A nice comeback from them. And now they're moving towards that finishing line. That grenade on Freeze could have done a lot more damage than it ended up doing there, but Tensky's going to go in. I was just about to switch to him as he finds his death. Snappy gets himself AWP'd. And so does Freeze. It's almost like he didn't know where Simple was. But was that a headshot through the chicken coop? It couldn't have been, right? Well, this round's not over just yet, so let's debate that afterwards. Sicilian is still in this round, and he has picked up 2 in this 1v4. That flashbang was pretty nice, but he didn't manage to actually do anything with it. It allowed him to push out. That grenade is going to do some damage. Only 10 HP in the end to Blade. I thought it could have done more. Now the Molotov afterwards may force him out of his position and right into the sights of Vasilian, but he can't pull the trigger in time to take down that headshot. 19 to 15, and of course the magic number here is 21. First team to 21 will take this home. And if of course it goes to 2020, we'll be seeing overtime number 2. But as it stands, Flipside are looking in a very good position to close this off. I have to say that Tees desperately need this round. Copenhagen Wolves need to chime together and try and do something special, and that's just what the doctor ordered for them. They've got 2 frags right off the bat here onto World Edit and Simple, both who are bottom fragging for the side, and there is Bondic and Blade trying to come back into this round. Look at Blade's position. He could get himself a hat full of frags, and no, he doesn't. He doesn't get a single one. That's great news as far as the Copenhagen Wolves are concerned, especially as Sicilians now just ran up and picked off Bondic as well. And that leaves Markelov in this final round of the first overtime half against 4 players, and he can't do anything with that, and he drops down. So a must-win round for Copenhagen Wolves, and they just about claw on. Whew. This game has been a real marathon between these 2 teams. They must be getting a bit mentally fatigued at this point. The amount of concentration that will be going into this. You can see Simple tried to potentially push aggressively, and he's going to do it anyway, all by himself. There's a player behind him, that's Sicilian. Sicilian gets that kill, and I really did think that that could have been a great round for Flipside Tactics, but they now find themselves a player behind. And it's all on Markelov, Blade, and World Edit. World Edit with the AWP. He's going to be pushing in. You can actually scratch Markelov off that tally because he's dropped down. Now 58 seconds to pull off something special. And this would be a great start for the CTs, for Copenhagen Wolves, and they're going to do it in style. Blade Art saw his teammate get eviscerated in front of his eyes. And he's going to go into drop zone. He has 100% of his HP. He has the bomb. I don't want to hype this round up too much, but if he can get a couple frags here, he's got every chance at clutching this round, but it's not looking likely. He's about to walk into a real trap here. He's got Hunden and Snappy there, and he's making a bit of noise. He just saw Snappy. Is he going to go for that kill? And he gets baited. Hook, line, and sinker. And Hunden says, thank you very much. I'll add that to my tally of frags. Let's have a look at the scoreboard. Let you guys know who's performing. Top fragger, Tensky, 32 and 22. Snappy on 27, 24. For Flipside, 29 for 21 for Bondic. And Markelov on 26 for 23. Blade Art on 23 and 21, so very even spread of kills on their side. This map was picked by Copenhagen Wolves, but this is a best of 1, guys. There was another best of 1 before this that went the way of Flipside. That grenade is going to do significant damage to Flipside. That wrecked 3 players. Now Asilian just waltzes into drop zone, gets himself 2. He was looking for the 3rd, but unable to connect the dots there and get the headshot. And now Flipside, after picking up the frag onto Snappy, are going to be pushing onto B. And this puts Freeze in a horrific position, because if Flipside were to win this, that would need to be 3 consecutive rounds to the CTs just to take it into 2nd overtime. And that's the position that they find themselves in now. Of course, with it being overtime and 16k, MR10, they're easily able to rebuy, no problems whatsoever, but that's not the issue. The currency they're looking for is rounds. Looks like a pretty good spawn for Will Edit with the AWP. And he's just going to throw in the grenade. And then peek afterwards, but there's no one there for him to pick up. Elsewhere on the map, simple. Once again, we can take that scope into long, trying to get himself a frag through the smoke, but the ceiling's actually on the opposite side there. Towards his left-hand side. Markov, meanwhile, is just going to go ahead and plough his way through into drop zone. Easy peasy. No one seems to be able to hold that position. This could all come on to how Asilian plays from this spot. He's given his position away. He's going to go ahead and underarm his flashbang. Was hoping for the pop flash into frags. Oh, Snappy misses a kill that he absolutely had to land. And that could be it, and indeed it will. Flipside take down the final frag onto Freeze. If Snappy lands that kill, it's a 2-on-2 and very possible for the counter-terrorists to pick up. But I don't want to single him out as the reason they lost that game. It's just unfortunate mistakes that cost them huge in the end. Congratulations to Flipside for winning. And they are going to be your winners for the second map here in this second best of one. Alright guys, so that's going to do it for this set of games, but we have Flipside against Mouse coming up very shortly. It should only be in a few minutes time, so stay tuned. I'm going to run some ads, so if you could turn off your ad block, that would be awesome. That will directly support the stream. And if you've enjoyed, feel free to smash that follow button. I'd really appreciate it. With that being said and done, we'll go back to a quick music break and run some ads. Thanks for stopping by.